It's time to go to school.
それじゃあ行きましょうか。この辺りの道は不慣れなんだから、学校までの近道ぐらい教えてよね。
Then let's get going. I don't know this area very well, so maybe you can show me some shortcuts to school. Rin is in her school uniform, standing next to me. My image of her as an honor student is fading, but she still makes me nervous when I see her in uniform. Going to school with the prettiest girl is nerve-wracking enough, but on top of that...
Senpai, 戸締まりできました。
I finished locking up the house. Sakura is coming with me too. She typically goes to school with Fujini because she's a member of the Kyudo club. But this morning Sakura stayed put in the living room to help clean up after breakfast and waited for me to go to school.
何？Sakura に鍵持たせてるの？シロってば。
Did you give Sakura a key to your house, Shiro? I did. Sakura's never done anything bad, and she's been a big help to me all this time. So with all that in mind, I can't give you a spare key, but that won't bother you, right?
それは構わないけど、どういう意味よそれ？
I don't mind. What's that supposed to mean? You do bad stuff. You probably don't even need a key anyway. I'm not foolish enough to make something so unnecessary.
はあ、そうですか。ええ、シロの言う通り、これっぽっちもいらないわよ、そんなもの。
Oh, is that so? Fine, you're right. I won't need something like that anyway. Chosaka turns her head, huffing. Maybe I'm getting used to her, but I'm starting to find these mannerisms of hers fascinating. What's wrong, Sakura? If you're done locking up, let's go. We've got Tosaka this morning too, so I want to get to school as early as possible.
そうですね。先輩がそう言うのなら、そうします。
Yes, you're right. We should go if you insist. Sakura's reply is pretty unenthusiastic, and she trails behind us. This isn't good. Sakura has seemed down ever since Tosaka convinced Fujini to back off. Fujini might have consented, but I have a feeling Sakura isn't convinced. I probably need to talk to her. I should find a way to give these two time to get along and be friends. The sloped road is packed with students. It's half past 7. It's 7:30, which is the busiest time for students getting to school. Among the flock of students, I stand out and I can feel everyone's stares since I'm in pretty famous company. Maybe she forgot something, but Tosaka's been quiet the entire time. What's wrong? You've been acting weird ever since we reached the hill.
やっぱり変？今朝の私。
Am I acting odd this morning? No, you're not odd, but your behavior is.
先輩、その説明は矛盾してます。遠坂先輩が聞いているのはそういうことじゃないと思いますけど。
Senpai, that's contradictory. I do not believe that was what Miss Tosaka was asking. Then what was Tosaka asking? ですから遠坂先輩は周りから見られているからどこか自分の姿がおかしいのではと思ってるんですよね。Everyone is staring at Miss Tosaka, so she was worried there was something wrong with her appearance, isn't that right?
そうだけど、やっぱり桜から見ても変？
Do I look weird to you too, Sakura?
おかしいな。今朝は眠いながらもちゃんとブローしたし、制服だってシワ一つないと思うんだけど。やっぱり慣れない家で寝たもんだから目にクマでもできてるってわけ？
It's weird. I may have been sleepy this morning, but I still blow-dried my hair, and I don't think there's a single wrinkle in my uniform. Maybe I have bags under my eyes because I slept in a new unfamiliar place last night. What are you yelling at me for? It's not my fault if you couldn't sleep, and even if that's why you got bags under your eyes, it's no big deal. Just forget it.
何失礼なこと言ってるのよ。女ってのは生まれた時から自分の身だしなみを気にするものなの。
How dare you? Girls care about their appearance from the moment they're born.
もう今 今まで外見だけは完璧でいいよって繕ってきたのに、それも今日でおしまいってことかしらね。
I've always tried so hard to look perfect, at least on the outside, but I guess my streak ends today. Again, why are you yelling at me? I don't know what's going on here, Tosuka, but it's definitely not my fault. Take your frustrations out on someone else, or someone or something else.
違いますよ、遠坂先輩。先輩は今日も綺麗です。みんなが遠坂先輩を見ているのは私たちと一緒だからです。先輩、今まで誰かと投稿したことなんてなかったから。
Please don't worry, Miss Tosuka. You're as beautiful today as always. Everyone's staring at you because you're with us, since you've never come to school with anyone before.
何？その程度のことでこんな扱い受けるわけ？侮れないわね。10年も通ってれば学校なんてマスターしたつもりでいたけど、謎はまだ残ってたわけか。
That's why I'm being treated like this? I'm not insulted, but I thought I'd figure out how school works after 10 years. Guess there's still some mysteries left for me. Tosuka ponders this seriously. Hold on, what kind of person ignores someone telling them they're as beautiful as always? You really don't get it, do you? Of course people will notice if you come to school with someone, especially if that person is a guy.
けど遠坂先輩、そういうの気にしない人なんです。だから今まで浮いた話一つなかったんですよ。
Exactly. But Miss Tosuka really doesn't care about that kind of thing. That's why there have never been any romantic rumors about her. That's good to know. And that means there's only been one victim who was taken in by your appearance and suffered the consequences. I whisper that part to Sakura as we walk a bit behind Tosuka, who still looks puzzled. We walk through the school gate, stairs following us the whole way. I only need to endure the stairs a little longer, since we will all separate once we get into the school building.
朝から頭痛いのがやってきちゃってまあ。
I'm really not up to seeing the source of my headache first thing in the morning. Tosuka mutters to herself as we head toward campus. Following her gaze, I see a familiar face pushing his way through the crowd of students.
Sakura!
Sakura shivers at the sight of him. Shinji acts like he doesn't see us. Instead, he makes a beeline for Sakura and says,
お前、僕に断りもなく休むなんて何様なわけ?
Why don't you come to the dojo? Who do you think you are, taking a day off without telling me? Shinji raises his hand, instinctively. Yo, Shinji. Working hard first thing in the morning, huh? I grab his hand and greet him.
エミヤ? お前? そうか。またエミヤの家に行ってたのか、サクラ。
You. So you were at Emiya's house again, Sakura?
先輩のところにお手伝いに行っていました。けどそれは。
Yes, I went to help Senpai, but that's...
後輩としての義務だって?まったく。泥臭いなお前は。勝手に怪我したやつなんて構うことないだろう。いいから、お前は僕の言う通りにしてればいいんだよ。
That it's your duty as a junior to do that. That's such bullshit. You have no responsibility to help a guy who hurt himself. Your job is to listen to me. Shinji huts as he lowers his hand. I have no reason to hold on to his hand if he's not going to hit Sakura, so I let go.
しかしなんだね。そこまでうちの邪魔して楽しいわけ、エミヤ。さくらは弓道部の部員なんだからさ。無理やり朝練をサボらせるような真似しないでくれないかな。
Do you take some kind of sick pleasure in getting in our way, Emiya? Sakura is a member of the Kudo Club, so stop forcing her to do shit for you that makes her skip practice, okay? I don't have a response to that. Having Sakura come to my place to make breakfast does hold her up in the mornings.
そんなことありません。私は好きで先輩のお手伝いをしているだけです。兄さん、今のは言い過ぎなんじゃないですか?
That's not true. I help Senpai out because I want to. I think you're going a bit too far, brother.
言い過ぎだって? それはお前の方だよ、さくら。エミヤが一人住まいだからなんだって言うんだ。別に一人でいいって言うんだからさ、一人にしてやればいいんだよ。エミヤみたいなのはそっちの方が居心地がいいんだからさ。
Too far. That's my line, Sakura. So what if Emiya lives alone? If he says he's fine alone, then you can just let him be. I bet he's more relaxed that way, anyway.
兄さん、やだ。今のはひどいよ。
That's a terrible thing to say.
まあいい。今日でエミヤの家に行くのはやめろよ、さくら。僕が来いって言ったのに部活に来なかったんだ。そのくらいの罰は受ける覚悟があったんだろ。
Fine. But I'm not going to Emiya's house from now on. You didn't come to practice even though I told you to, so you should be ready for some punishment. Sakura gasps and freezes. Shinji tries to gasp Sakura and pull her away, but the instant she does...
おはよう、マトウくん。黙って聞いていたんだけど、なかなか面白い話だったわ、今の。
Morning, Mato. I thought I'd just listen and not get involved, but that's quite the conversation you're having.
父さか。お前、なんでさくらといるんだよ。
Tosaka? Why are you with Sakura?
別に意外でもなんでもないでしょう。
Shouldn't be that big of a surprise.
さくらさんはエミヤくんと知り合い、私はエミヤくんと知り合い。だから今朝は3人で一緒に登校してきたんだけど、気づかなかった？
Sakura is Emiya's friend, and I'm an acquaintance with Emiya. That's why the three of us walked to school together this morning. Did you not notice?
エミヤと知り合い？
You know Emiya?
ええ、きっとこれからも一緒に学校に来て一緒に下校するぐらいの知り合いだから、さくらさんとも付き合っていこうかなって思ってるわ。
That's right. As a matter of fact, we're good enough friends that we may keep going home and coming to school together, which is why I'm considering being friends with Sakura, too.
エミヤとだって。
With Emiya? Why is he such a chud? Why? Bro is a chud. God damn. It might be my imagination, but I feel murderous intent from him that goes way beyond just animosity. While I haven't really been getting along with him lately, I don't remember doing anything that would make him resent me anywhere near this much.
そんなバカな。冗談がきついな、父さかは。君がエミヤなんかと付き合うわけないじゃないか。
Huh. Don't be ridiculous. This is a bad joke, Tosaka. There's no way... Excuse me. There's no way you would hang around a god like Emiya.
ああ、そうか。君、勘違いしてるんだろう。そりゃ確かに、ちょっと前までエミヤとは友達だったけど、今は違うんだ。もうエミヤと僕は無関係だから、あまりメリットはない。
Why is this is so petty? Why is this so petty? Who cares? Oh, I know. You probably got it all wrong. Yeah, sure, I was friends with Emiya before, but we're not anymore. Fuck you, this diva, Jesus Christ.
そうなの？よかった。それを聞いて安心したわ。あなたのことなんてちっとも興味がなかったから。
Is that so? Well, that's a relief. So I never had the slightest interest in you. I feel bad for Shinji. If I were in his shoes, Tosaka's words would be traumatic enough. I probably wouldn't recover for a good while.
お前。
それとマトウくん、さっきの話だけど、弓道部の朝練は自主参加のはずよ。欠席の許可が必要だなんて話は聞いてないわ。そんな規則、私はもちろん綾子や藤村先生も聞いてないでしょうね。
By the way, Mato, about your conversation earlier, I thought morning practices for the Kyudo Club were voluntary, but I've never heard that you needed permission to be absent. I'm sure this would be news to Miss Fujimura and Ayako as well.
うるさいな。兄貴が妹に何をしようが勝手だろう。いちいち人の家の事情に首を突っ込むな。
Shut up. It's none of your business when an older brother tells his little sister. Don't poke your nose into our family affairs.
ええ、それは同感ね。だからあなたもエミヤくんの家のことをあれこれ言うのは筋違いじゃない？まったく、 こんな朝から校庭で騒がしいわよ、マト君。
I completely agree. And that's why you shouldn't have anything to say about Emiya's home either. Honestly, you've got some nerve causing a scene like this so early in the day, Mato. Shinji retreats a step, still glaring at Sakura and me in the process.
わかった。今朝の件は許してやる。
Fine, I forgive you for this
け
morning.
どさくら、次はないからな。今度何かあったら、その時は自分の立場ってやつをよく思い知らせてやる。
But you won't get a second chance, Sakura. If something like this happens again, I'll put you in your place once and for all. Fucking hell. Shinji heads toward the school building after making his big pronouncement. He's turned tail and run after Tosuka gave him such a dressing down.
ごめんなさい先輩。兄さんがその失礼なことを言ってしまって。
I'm so sorry, Senpai. My brother was so rude to you. Sakura's apologizing not just to me, but to Tosuka as well.
うん、朝からいい運動になったわ。頭のギアがスパッと上がったし、ようやく調子が出てきたもの。口喧嘩好きなのよね、私。
Don't worry about it. It was actually a nice way to start the day. The gears in my head are oiled up and turning at full speed now. I love a good argument, you know.
それに謝るのは私の方だし、ちょっとやりすぎだったわよね、今の。あいつだって立場があるんだし、ほら、みんなの前でああいうのってしちゃダメだって言うじゃない？
I should be the one apologizing. We might have gone a bit too far. He still has a reputation to think about, and I shouldn't have said something like that in front of everyone at school, you know?
マトウ君が落ち込んでたら、後でフォローしてあげて。
If he acts all down from this, go ahead and cheer him
そ
up
れに懲りずにまた突っかかってきてもいいって。
and tell him he can spar with me anytime he likes.
兄さんが懲りていなければ、またお相手をしてあげてください、先輩。
Yeah, if my brother hasn't learned anything from this incident, then please spar it with him again, Miss Tosuka. Relieved, she smiles cheerfully. Tosuka seems suddenly bashful and looks away.
先輩も、できれば怒らないであげてください。
And you too, Senpai. Please not to try to get mad at him either.
先輩しか友達いないから。
You're his only friend. I know, it's probably impossible for me not to get mad, but I've known him like that since forever. I can see us getting close again at some point, so I'll take baby steps with him.
はい。よろしくお願いします、先輩。
I look forward to seeing that happen, Senpai. She quickly bows. Yeah. The only thing I get really mad at Shinji about is the way he treats his sister like crap.
それじゃあ先輩、今日も一日頑張りましょうね。
Let's have another good day, Senpai. Sakura heads to the first year floor. Tosuka and I climb the stairs to the second year floor. And run right into the student council president.
なぜに遠坂と一緒にいるのか、エミヤシロ。
Why are you with Tosuka, Shiro Emiya? I can't remember the voice I gave
おは
him.
よう、竜道くん。朝からハウアとはご挨拶ね。
目覚めから嫌な予感がしたが、まさか案件殺とはな。えい、いいからこっちに来い、エミヤ。遠坂の近くにいたら毒が移る、毒が。
I woke up feeling like something was off this morning, but I never thought it would be this dire. Oh, just come over here, Emiya. Staying so close to Tosuka might poison you. Issei tugs at my arm. Hard. Tosuka looks at Issei and me without a word, and then walks to Class 2A as if nothing happened.
行くがいい。誰も止めはしないからな。
Go on right ahead. Nobody's stopping you. Tosuka silently passes by, but then...
シロ、昼休みに屋上。
Shiro, rooftop, lunch. She whispers that to my ear so Issei won't hear. It's lunchtime. Just seeing Tosuka and me in this morning. Issei hasn't been speaking to me. Been treating me like a traitor. Guess I went too far. I feel just a bit of regret. Issei interrogated me about why I was with Tosuka this morning. My response was, we got close over the weekend. That was not a great idea. I expected Issei's next set of questions to be about how and why we got close. Before I could explain further, Issei staggered away. I guess that works to my advantage since I need to do things alone for a while. Having fewer people involved will make things easier. Anyway, the first thing I need to do is... What do we need to explain to Sakura? Oh, let's save. Everything to... We're gonna go meet Tosuka. I don't quite trust this option yet. Everything... just dump everything that happened over the past couple of days to her, because that's... I think that's one thing we should explicitly avoid, so... Yeah, Tosuka. She told us to meet with her anyway. I don't think we normally eat lunch with Sakura anyways. He normally eats lunch with, Issei. Hold on, I gotta stretch. Ugh, okay. It may have been her dictating to me, but she probably has something to talk about. I buy lunch and head to the rooftop. The rooftop is typically packed with other students but when it's warmer, but it's deserted in the winter chill. Although winter in Fuyuki is comparatively warmer, the rooftop gets hungry. Yep, we know. This, exposed to the cold winter myself and... Wait, what was the holdup? Tosuka is shivering in the shadows. Sorry I'm late. I felt bad, so I brought you something to make up for it, but I guess you don't need it. I show her the warm canned coffee I bought, and I put it back in my pocket. You may look unsophisticated, but you're pretty considerate. I did it because I felt like it. Come on, go a little further over there. It's windier over here, and people might see us. I hand her the canned coffee as I head towards the back where I won't be seen. We won't be as conspicuous here, and there's no way anyone from the 4th floor would see us. Thanks. Next time I prefer tea, and I like instant milk tea. Other than that, you'll get no thanks from me, so be warned. Got it. If I remember next time, that is. So why'd you call me here? Considering we're meeting where there's nobody else around, I assume you want to talk about you-know-what. Of course. What else will we talk about other than that? So what's up? Why are you acting so nonchalant? Well, it's cold. I want you to make this short. Aren't you cold too? Well then get on with it, Jesus Christ. I was just stating the obvious, so she really doesn't need to yell at me like that. Fine. Then I'll get right to the point. Shira, what were you thinking of doing after school? After school? I really don't have any plans, honestly. If I need to help out the student council, I'll help, but if not, I'll go to my part-time job. Why are you looking so confused? If you have something to say, just tell me, I'll try to address it. Honestly, I may not care what really happens to you, but I guess I'll give you a warning. We have formed an alliance, and you're just too inexperienced as a mage. I'm sick of hearing how inexperienced of a mage I am. I'm actually sensitive about that, so don't bully me.
いじめてなんていないわよ。ただシローが学校の結界に気づいてないようだから未熟だって言ってるの。
I'm not bullying you. I just want to point out how ignorant you are because you don't seem to notice there's a bounded field set up around the school. What? A bounded field at the school? Hold on, a bounded field at school. Does that mean...
まさかも何も他のマスターが張った結界だってば。
You got it. It's a bounded field set up by some other
かなり
master.
広範囲に仕組まれた結界でね。発動すれば学校の敷地をほぼ包み込む。
It's been cast over a wide area, and if it gets activated, it'll pretty much enclose the entire school grounds.
種別は結界内にいる人間から血肉を奪うタイプ。まだ準備段階のようだけど、それでもみんなに元気がないって気づかなかった？
It's intended to steal the flesh and blood from all the people within the bounded field. It looks like it's still at its beginning stages, but haven't you noticed how listless everyone is? Now that she mentions it, I felt a little strange 2 days ago, but was that why? That means there's a master at school?
そう、確実に敵が潜んでいるってわけ。わかったエミヤくん。そのあたり覚悟しておかないと死ぬわよあなた。
Exactly. We have an enemy lurking here. Do you get it now, Emiya? If you're not prepared, you'll die. My relaxed demeanor fades and I tense up. So do you know who this master is, Tosaka?
いいえ、当たりはついてるけどまだ確証が取れてない。まあ、うちの学校にはもう一人魔術師がいるってことは知ってたけど、魔術師イコールマスターってわけじゃないから。
I have some ideas, but I don't have solid proof. Well, actually, I do know there's another mage at the school, but a mage isn't necessarily a master.
あなたみたいな素人がマスターになる場合もあるんだし、断定はできないわ。
There are cases where amateurs become masters, like you, so I can't be sure. I'm still a mage, not a complete amateur. Hold up, did you just say there's another mage at this school?
そうよ。けど、そいつからマスターとしての気配は感じないのよね。真っ先に調べに行ったけど、霊樹もなければサーバントの気配もなかった。
Yep, but I don't sense any indication they're a master. I checked right away, but they didn't have command spells, and I didn't sense the presence of a servant.
よっぽどうまく気配を隠しているなら別だけど、まずそいつはマスターじゃないわ。
If they're hiding it really well, that's another matter, but I'm pretty sure they're not a master.
だからこの学園に潜んでいるマスターは、シロみたいに半端に魔術を知っている人間だと思う。
Which is why I think the master here is someone who knows a little bit of magecraft like you.
ここのところさ、微量だけど私たち以外の魔力を後者に感じるのよ。それが敵マスターの気配ってわけなんだけど。
I've been feeling a bit of magical energy other than ours here recently. That has to be the enemy master, but it's not enough to track. Master who's not a mage, huh? Must be very sure if you're bringing it up. I believe you, but I didn't know there were so many mages in our school.
そんなにって私とその子だけだって。
It's actually not that many. It's just me and whoever they are.
魔術師ってのは家柄を大事にするでしょ。こんな狭い地域に2つの家系が根を張った場合、どうしても好意になるものなのよ。
You know how mages value their lineage, right? If two families put down roots in a small town like this area, they couldn't help knowing each other. Is that what happens? But I didn't know anything about your family.
エミヤくんちは特別。エミヤくんのお父さん、教会から離反した一匹狼だったんでしょうね。たまたまこの町が気に入って根を下ろしたんだろうけど、冬木の町はうちの管轄だからさ。
Your household is an exception. Your father had to have alienated himself from the association and been sort of a lone wolf. He probably settled here because he just liked it, but the city is under the Tosca's family
私
jurisdiction.
たちにバレたらもらうものもらうことになるし、それが嫌で隠れてたんじゃないかな。
If we had found out, we would have taken everything from him, so I guess he was in hiding to avoid exactly that. What the heck do you mean about taking everything from him?
気になる？それは将来シロが一人前になったら取り立てに行くから期待してて。
Curious? I'll come and collect from you once you are properly trained, so look forward to it. What a facade you put up. Some honor student you are, you imposter.
あら、いけない？外見を飾るのだって魔術師としての義務でしょ？
Oh, is there something wrong with that? Maintaining appearances is part of a mage's job description.
ほら、私は遠坂家の跡取りだし、火の打ちどころのない優等生じゃないと天国の父さんに顔を合わせられないのよ。
Because, I'm in the Tosca family's heir, so I have to act like the perfect honor student, or I wouldn't be able to face my father in heaven. Your father?
ええ、私が子供の頃死んじゃった。ま、十分長生きしたから天寿は全うしたんだし、別に悲しんだりはしてないけど。
He died when I was young. Well, he lived a long and fulfilling life, so I'm not really that sad about it. Jessica smiles as if she's saying that's just how it goes when you have a mage for a father, but that's a lie. You're sad when someone dies. All the more if that person is your parent. Saying that it can't be helped because someone is a mage is no excuse to just gloss over it.
まあ、そうね。
Well, you're
エ
right.
ミヤ君の意見は反論できないぐらい正しいわ。
I can't really argue that. As she says it, she opens up the canned coffee she'd been using as a hand warmer until now. She drinks it in small sips. I'd expected her to take a big gulp, honestly, but she's pretty feminine when it comes to things like that.
話を戻すけど、
Back on
と
topic.
もかく冬木の町に魔術師は2人しかいないの。
There are only 2 mages in
他
Fuyuki.
のマスターは外からやってきた連中か。魔術をかじった程度でマスターに選ばれたっていう変わり種でしょうね。
The other masters are either from outside or they're regulars who were chosen to be masters because they know just a little magecraft. That's so. So according to whatever though. Hold on. No. How do I? Okay, whatever. I got that. But if there's a master who barely started learning magecraft, they. Oh wait, there we go. That's what you... Okay. So according to Jessica, I'm quite the irregular. Okay. I got that, but if there's a master who barely started learning magecraft, they probably wouldn't be able to create a bounded field like this one.
マスターが貼ったんじゃなくて、サーバントが貼ったのかもね。
It may not be the master. The servant might have put up the bounded field.
サーバントは自分のマスターを選べないもの。シローみたいなマスターに当たってしまった場合、サーバント自身がいろいろ策を練るしか勝機はないでしょ。
Servants can't choose their masters. If a servant ends up with a master like you, their only chance of winning would be if they came up with strategies themselves. Probably. I had to think of it that way, but I can't argue.
はい、素直で結構。
Good. I like it when you're so accepting.
結界の話に戻すけど、この結界はすごく高度よ。
So about this bounded field, it's quite
ほとん
advanced.
ど魔法の領域だし、こんなの貼れる魔術師だったらまず自分の魔力を隠しきれない。だから間違いなくこの結界はサーバントの仕業だと思う。
It's pretty much at the level of magic, and if there were a mage here who could create something like this, they wouldn't be able to conceal their presence or magical energy. So I believe this bounded field is the work of a servant. The works of a servant, huh? That must mean the master isn't as dangerous.
まさか魔術師にしろ一般人にしろ、そいつはルールが分かってないやつよ。マスターを見つければまずまっすぐに殺しに来るタイプの人間ね。
That's not necessarily true. Whether they're mages or not, whoever it is, they don't know the proper rules. They're almost certainly the type to immediately try to kill any master they find. Not know the rules of the Holy Grail War.
違う。人間としてのルール。こんな結界を作らせる時点で、そいつは自分ってものが分かってない。
No, rules of just being a human being. If they're making their servant create a bounded field like this, they just flat out don't know right or wrong.
いいシロ。この結界はね、発動したら最後、結界内の人間を一人残らず妖怪して吸収する代物よ。
Listen, Shiro, once this bounded field is completed and activated, it'll dissolve and absorb everyone
私
inside.
たちは生き物の胃の中にいるようなものなの。
Think of it like they're in the belly of some
う
creature.
ん。魔力で自分自身を守っている私たちには効果はないだろうけど、魔力を持たない人間なら、わけもわからないうちに衰弱死しかねない。
Or rather, we might not be affected by it because we're protecting ourselves with magical energy, but anyone who doesn't possess magical energy will weaken and die without their knowing.
一般人を巻き込むどころの話じゃないわ。
This is way beyond just involving ordinary
この結
citizens.
界が起動したら、学校中の人間は皆殺しにされるのよ。わかる？こういうふざけた結界を準備させるやつがこの学校にいるマスターなの。
The moment this bounded field is activated, everyone in this school will die. Do you understand? There's a master in this school who's willing to make a bounded field this awful. My vision blurs momentarily. I take a deep breath so I can make sure I fully comprehend what Tozuka's trying to say. But it stops there. I attempt to imagine the worst possible outcome, even if my imaginings may fall short, and I keep that image deep within my heart and accept the position I've been placed in. I get what you're trying to say. So, can we try to destroy this bounded field?
試したけど無理だった。結界の起点は全部探したんだけど、それを消去できないのよ。私にできるのは、一時的に起点を弱めて、結界の発動を先延ばしにするだけよ。
I tried, but it was impossible. I found all the sources for it, but I can't destroy them. The only thing I can do is temporarily weaken the sources to delay the whole thing from activating. So as long as you're here, the bounded field can't fully be formed.
そう願いたいけど、それも都合のいい願いでしょうね。もう結界は張られていて、発動のための魔力は少しずつ溜まってきている。アーチャーの見立てだと、あと8日程度で準備が整うとか。
I can only hope that's wishful thinking. The bounded field is already set up, and the magical energy needed to activate it is gradually accumulating according to Archer's estimate. Everything will be ready in about 8 days.
そうなったらマスターかサーバントか、どちらかがその気になれば、この学校は地獄になる。
When it's ready, either the master or servant will transform this school into a living hell. And before that happens,
この学校に潜んでいるマスターを倒すしかない。
we need to defeat the master lurking in this school.
けど、探すのは難しいでしょうね。この結界を張られた時点で、そいつの勝ちみたいなものだもの。あとは黙ってても結界は発動するんだから、その時まで表には出てこない。だから、チャンスがあるとしたら。
But it'll be challenging to find them. We've pretty much been at their mercy from the moment the bounded field was formed. The master just needs to wait until it's ready to be activated. They don't need to make themselves known until then, so the only chance we have is when they come out, right?
ご名答。まあそういうわけだから、今はおとなしくしてなさい。その時になったら、嫌でも戦うことになるんだし。自分から探し回って敵に知られるのもバカらしいでしょ。
Bingo, so you should stay quiet until then. You'll have to fight whether you like it or not when the time comes, and it'd be stupid to let the enemy find you, or you to go searching for the master yourself. The sound of the school's bell rings out across the first. What the fuck?
話はそれだけ。私は寄るところがあるから、
Shit, shit,
一人で帰って。
Bro,
寄り道は控えなさいよ。
what the hell happened there? Okay. I think I pressed the button by accident. I pressed the arrow. Okay, the arrow keys on your computer. Okay. Okay, that's how that works. That's what fast forward does. Okay. I get it now. Okay, this doesn't feel right to me. Wondering that masters may attack other masters is enough to make me anxious, but a bounded field around the school? But now there's a possibility that innocent people might get dragged into this too. That's not what masters do. That's just what a mass murderer does. So I need to find whoever set this boundary field up before it's activated, find them, and destroy
喜
them
べ
utterly.
エミヤシロ、君の願いは。
I shake my head, trying to ignore the words that pop into my mind. I never wish for this. Wishing for bad guys to show up so I can defeat them is not what I do. The end of day homeroom ends, and students start to file out of the classroom. Normally, I'd go to the student council room, but I decided to go home since Totsuka told me to. The gate is still locked. Alright, it's been a while since I came home this early. I usually help out doing odd jobs or go to a part-time job, so it's rare for me to come straight home from school. I usually find the gate unlocked and Sakura preparing dinner inside. I've gotten so used to that after a year, I've forgot how important coming home early can be. Even the simple act of opening a locked gate makes you realize how thankful I should be for Sakura coming here. I'm home. I step into the hallway as I call out. When I enter the living room, I see the blonde girl.
帰ったのですね、マスター。
You're back, master. For a split second, as I see Saber, I feel like I've been hurled into a dream or some sort of fantasy.
シロ、今帰ってきたのではないのですか？
Shira, did you just get home? She calls my name in a quiet voice. I finally come back to reality. Sorry, Saber, you surprised me popping up so suddenly like that. Just for an instant, I mistook her for a normal girl rather than Saber.
私はマスターの指示に従ってここに待機していたのですが、間違っていましたか？
Your orders were for me to stay here. Was I mistaken? No, I just got confused. Don't worry about it. How are you feeling, Saber? You said you were going to sleep a lot, so does that mean you're now...
起きていても支障はありません。
There's no problem with being awake now.
いえ、可能な限り戦闘時以外は眠っていた方がいいのですが、それでは勘が鈍りますから。
Well, it would be ideal for me to sleep except when fighting, but that would leave me
定期
rusty.
的に目覚めて体を動かしていなければ、いざという時に動きが鈍ります。
I should move around periodically, or my body will not be properly responsive when I need it most. Got it. You have a point there. You had a headache if you sleep all day, and I'm sure you're not sleeping because you're sleepy.
そうですね。眠りを必要とする疲れはありません。
That's true. I do not sleep because I get fatigued.
ですがシロ、あなたは眠りすぎると頭を痛くするのですか？
Did you say you get a headache when you sleep too much? Don't you? People don't typically do well if they sleep a good chunk of the day. In my case, like I woken up by a headache, so I can't sleep for more than half a day.
不思議な話ですね。私はそのようなことはありませんでした。今も昔も眠ろうと思えばいくらでも眠れますし。
How strange. That never happened to me. I've always been able to sleep as much as I like, but both now and in depressed. That doesn't sound particularly efficient, Saber. Sleeping all day would be a waste. Wouldn't it be more fun to wake up and play if you weren't sleepy?
そうですね。確かにその方が無駄はありません。
You may be right. You waste less time that way. Right? You may have been forced to do this because you're with me, but once your contract with me ends, you should go back to your normal lifestyle and cycle. It may not be my place to say, but if this becomes a habit and you sleep all day, people might start thinking you're lazy.
それはすでに手遅れかもしれません。私は皆にそう思われていたかもしれない。
It may in fact be too late. Some may already see me that way. She thinks about it and furrows her brow. I thought this was just idle chit-chat, but Saber doesn't really seem to get jokes. We move to the living room. She looks like she wants to know what happened today, so I decided to tell her about the battlefield at school Tosca warned me about.
そうですか。学校に集まる人間を生贄にするつもりなのですね。そのマスターは。
Okay. I see. That master must be planning to use the people inside the school as a sacrifice. To be blunt, probably yeah. Jessica said it needs more time though.
同感です。それほど大規模な結界の完成には時間がかかる。学校の校舎というものは封鎖しやすい建物ですから、おそらく神殿に見立てた祭壇なのでしょう。
I agree. A bounded field that lodge should take a considerable amount of time. It is possible to enclose a school building, but so it was most likely chosen to function in a manner similar to a temple
それ
altar.
だけの規模な結界を完璧に起動させるには、早くて10日は必要です。
I believe it'd take at least 10 days to fully activate a bounded field at that scale. 10 days. I felt something strange 2 days ago on Saturday, so that means we still have about 8 more days. That lines up with Tosaka's estimate.
その結界が生贄を集めるものであれ、守りを固めるものであれ、完成させては厄介です。それまでに結界を張ったマスターを見つけ出せれば良いのですが。
Alright, stuff we already know. Tosaka said it would be challenging, but it should be easy to identify someone if they're looking into school. We need to do everything we can to find them and make them stop the bounded field. The chances of them being someone from school are pretty high, considering where they set up their bounded field, a student or teacher. Starting tomorrow, I'll search the school as thoroughly as I can during lunch and try to find anyone suspicious. Other than that, we'll need to figure out what kind of servant they have with them. Then again, we'll only learn that once we've found them. Then, the only other thing I can do right now is think about the servants I've encountered already. Saber's awake, so now's my chance to ask her about them. Oh, because he hasn't seen Archer yet, or well, he hasn't really like experienced Archer. That's that guy. I should. Oh, yeah, that's right. Never mind, he has. I should ask about Tosaka's servant Archer. Saber defeated him in a single attack, though she did surprise him. So I have no idea how powerful he is. I want to know more about Archer. Did you notice anything about him?
アーチャーですか。
Archer.
いえ、シローが把握できている以上のことは何も。
No, no more than you
単純
did.
な戦闘能力では私が上回っているようですが、彼の宝具も戦闘技術も体験していません。
His basic combat abilities may be a bit better than mine, but I have not experienced his noble phantasm or his combat skills.
一度勝利しているからといって楽観していい相手ではないでしょう。
But I can tell you that we should not be confident around him simply because we beat him once. Yeah, well, it did happen really, really quickly. That guy, I can't put a finger on it, but in that moment, Saber attacked him. I had this uncanny feeling. Like it was a surprise attack, but it wasn't. That Red Knight looked like he had already sensed Saber's presence. But he froze the moment he saw Saber, so he couldn't react to her onslaught. Maybe he knows you. I have a feeling it wasn't that surprise attack that made this blow land, but just him being surprised at seeing you.
なるほど。そう考えると私も納得できる。
I see. That will make more
弓
sense.
使いである以上、接近戦で私に劣るのは当然です。
Being a bowman, it's natural that he would be inferior to me in single combat.
ですがそれにしても、あの時のアーチャーは脆すぎた。
But he was considerably weaker even than
何か
that.
外的要因で実力を発揮できなかったのではと考えていたのですが。
It occurred to me that something may have prevented it from using his full potential. Right? And I've actually seen him and Lancer fight. Archer might not have gone on the offensive, but his defense was incredible, so I assume there was something wrong with him since your attack hit him so easily.
私は手を抜かれたということですか。
So you're trying to say he took it easy on me. Rather than be upset by an easy victory, she seems to be more bothered that he might have taken it easy on her. She clears it an unforeseen enemy.
いいでしょう。ミンとの共闘が解けた後、私を侮辱したことを後悔させるだけです。
Very well. Once your alliance with Rin is over, I shall make him regret that insult. I don't think he went easy on you on purpose. I don't think there's real need to hate him. I certainly find myself defending Archer.
シロはアーチャーの行為が許せるというのですか？いえ、むしろ行為というか擁護しているように聞こえる。まさかとは思うのですが、サーバントとしてアーチャーの方が好ましいと。
Are you saying Archer's actions are to be forgiven? Rather, you seem to be defending him out of sheer goodwill. I do not want to believe it to be true, but I must ask, do you prefer Archer to me as your servant? That's impossible. I'll have you know that he rubs me the wrong way. I've never talked to him before, but I know that he and I wouldn't get along, even just from seeing him at a distance.
それはよかった。余計な杞憂でしたが、安心しました、シロ。
Lots of relief. I knew there was no problem for concern, but I am relieved to hear it said. Okay, you took me by surprise too. But why are you so relieved by that, Saber? Is me hating Archer a good thing?
そうですね。確かにおかしな話です。
You're right. It certainly is a strange thing for me to dwell on.
ああ、おそらく戦闘面での相性の問題でしょう。私は白兵戦を主体とするサーバントで、アーチャーは砲撃戦を主体とするサーバントだ。
Well, it is probably a matter of our comparability in battle. My specialty as a servant lies in melee combat, while Archer specializes in range
もしシロ
combat.
がアーチャーと相性がいいというのであれば、私とは相性が悪いことになる。それでは互いに実力を発揮できない。
If you were able to be more compatible with Archer, that would mean you wouldn't be compatible with me. If that was the case, none of us would be able to play to each other's strengths. She nods, convinced that that must be the reason for her relief. I guess so. Either way, we have absolutely no information on Archer. We still don't know which hero he is and what age he's from or what kind of noble phantasm he possesses.
待ってください、シロ。屋敷の門を人がくぐりました。
Someone has entered the gate of this property. You can sense something like that. Oh crap, it's already so late. This is bad. Sakura must be back. The doorbell rings from the front entrance. I hear Sakura's voice. I'm coming in. Saber, sorry,
分かっ
but
ています。部屋に戻っていますから、私のことは気にせずに。
I know. I'll retire to my room, so please don't mind me. Saber goes back to her room. Melissa's switching with Saber.
ただいま。感心感心。ちゃんと先に帰ってたわね。
I'm home. And good, you came home early like I asked you to. Jessica walks in, laden with shopping bags.
お邪魔します、先輩。珍しいですね。先輩がこんな早くから帰ってきてくれるのって。
Thanks for having me again, Senpai. It's rare for you to be home so early. Sakura walks in, smiling happily.
よし、準備は完璧っと。それじゃあ始めるとしましょうか。
Okay, everything is ready. I'm gonna get started. Jessica psychs her help and heads to the kitchen.
先輩、お夕飯の支度なんですけど。
About dinner tonight? You don't have to worry about it since it's Totsuka's turn today. You prepared breakfast for us, so leave dinner to us. She and I will handle dinner while Totsuka's staying here.
はい。先輩がそう言うのなら、そうします。
Very well. If you say so, then I'll have to oblige. Sakura quietly sits down. I hear fiery, boisterous sounds coming from the kitchen, but I see nothing of Totsuka. I guess I can trust her. I should stay in my room until dinner's ready, considering Saber's waiting there. I'm going to rest in my room. If Fujini comes, tell her she should prepare the bath for herself for a change.
はい。どうぞごゆっくり先輩。ご飯の支度ができたら呼びに行きますね。
Okay. Please go relax, Senpai. I'll come and get you once dinner is ready. By the way, don't forget to knock when you come into my room. It's a little before 6 o'clock. I figure dinner will be ready around 7 o'clock. I return to my room and find Saber sleeping in the room next door. Bummer, I thought I could talk to her a little more. Looks like telling him with disappointment and sit down. Wait a minute, what am I thinking? There's something else I can talk to her about apart from the Holy Grail. Or, besides, I don't know how to act around. Yeah, we know. She's asleep, I'll just let her rest. I muttered to myself and stared at the hands of the clock. Last night, Saber, Tosuka, and I ate dinner. Today, Sakura and Fujini are in the mix as well, making it 5 people. Actually, Saber can't join. As long as Fujini and Sakura are around, I can't have Saber come out of her room. I wonder if Saber ate breakfast. Last night, she was nodding while eating her dinner. Based on her behavior, it's not like she doesn't need food. I didn't prepare lunch for her, so she must be hungry. Once Fujini and Sakura go home, I should warm up some up for Saber. She'll have to eat alone, but there's nothing we can do about that. It's just, imagining Saber eating by herself is making me mad.
シロ、起きてる？
Shiro, are you awake? Jessica knocks on my door and peeks her head in. What's going on?
何って夕食なんだけど。できたから来て。
Dinner's ready. It's already that time. I pick myself up, glance towards Saber's room, and head into the hallway.
あ、来た来た。ほら見てよこの料理。なんと遠坂さんは長らく不在だった中華料理ができる人だったのだ。
Oh, there you are. Look at all the dishes. Can you believe it? Tosuka can cook Chinese cuisine, something that has long since been absent from our menu. Fujini dances excitedly around the table, which is laid out with dinner. Now that she mentions it, it does all look to be Chinese dishes today. 4 big plates decorate the table. Crab meat with egg omelet, shredded beef with green peppers, a vegetable stir fry with some fancy meat I've never seen before. And for some reason, a plate full of steamed shumai. Salad has been served on individual plates for everyone, and the setup seems to have been well thought out. It's pretty extravagant. Fujini loves it. This is a surprise. I thought you would make something Western.
本当は洋風を考えてたそうですよ。けど中華料理は誰も作らないって言ったら、なら私が作るって。
She did consider making Western dishes, but when I mentioned that no one in this household makes Chinese dishes, she volunteered to make me some. Why would she set out to do something that no one else does? Hey, Sakura, you and Tosuka came home at the same time. Did you two go shopping together or something?
はい。遠坂先輩、弓道部が終わるまで待っててくれたんです。それで帰り道がてら、2人で買い出しに行ってました。
Yes, Miss Tosuka waited for me until the Kudo Club's practice ended, and we decided to shop for groceries. Yeah, excuse me. I had no idea. Looks like you two are closer than I thought.
そうですね。遠坂先輩とは学校でもよく話してましたから、私のどこが気に入られたかわからないんですけど、入学した頃から親切にしてもらってます。
That may be true. Miss Tosuka speaks to me often at school too. I don't know what made her take a liking to me, but she has been very kind to me ever since I came to this school. Oh. Tosuka really is a nice upperclassman.
おしゃべりはいいから早く食べよう。私もうお腹ペコペコだよ。
Enough yapping, let's eat! I'm so hungry! Fujini sits down excitedly.
だってさ、2人も早く座ったら。中華物って冷めると犯罪的にまずいんだから。
You heard her. You two should sit down. Chinese food gets criminally bad when it's cold. Jessica sits down after she tells us to do the same. I sit down without a word. Everyone bows and thanks Tosuka for cooking, then starts eating. Whoa, I hate to admit it, but it's good. I never cooked Chinese food because I always thought it all taste the same. Tosuka's dishes made me realize it had all just been bias on my part, and I find myself regretting that.
うわー、すごいすごい。こんなにご飯を美味しくさせる料理は久しぶりだよ。遠坂さんに100点をあげましょう。
Wow, this is amazing! It's been a while since I've had a dish that goes well with rice. Yep, I'm giving you full marks for this one.
ありがとうございます。先生のように素直に感想を言ってもらえると私も嬉しいです。
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to get such an honest opinion from someone like you.
私も中華を見直しました。辛いのって苦手なんですけど、すごく美味しいです。
Yes, I also see Chinese food in a new light. I don't usually like eating spicy dishes, but this is delicious. Sakura looks pleased, seeming to enjoy the food too. Seeing everyone's happy faces, Totsuka. She turns to face me, her face triumphant. What? You look like you have something to say.
別にみんなに気に入ってもらえてよかったなって。まあ若干一名素直じゃないのがいるけど、それはそれで楽しいからよしとしましょう。得意分野で負けちゃった気持ちはわかるし。
Nothing. I'm just glad everyone likes it. Well, there's one person not being honest about his feelings, but it's amusing to me, so I'll let it slide. I understand how bad it must feel to be beaten at something you're good at. I get it. You made me cook dinner last night because you wanted to assess my cooking.
はい。今日の教訓は手の内は常に隠しておくでした。
Okay, today's lesson. Never let anyone see your plans or potential. Totsuka returns to her food, looking exceedingly pleased with herself. Dinner is a bit livelier than I expected. Sakura and Totsuka are acting like good upper and underclassmen, and Fujini is now completely on Totsuka's side. Well, I have no complaints about getting to enjoy a good meal. There are no complaints, but I can't feel unreservedly good about sharing a meal with everyone here. I stand up.
何しろトイレ
You into the bathroom, Shiro. No, I just forgot something. I'm going to bring them out now. So wait. When I step out of the living room, I lock eyes with Totsuka, who is looking at me silently. I just didn't think it was right. That's why. I didn't like the fact that I was making her sit alone, even though she's living with us. So without really considering the consequences of my actions, I take her hand.
シロ、突然何をするのです
Shiro, what are you doing? Just come with me. I'm going to introduce you to
正気です
everyone.
か待ってください。それは
Have you lost your mind? Wait, I'm bringing you out because I am thinking straight. Come on, let's go. We can deal with whatever happens
シ
after.
ロ
What? Shiro! This is not gonna end well. Still dragging her along by the time we reach the living room. Sorry, Totsuka, can you add one more plate for her? Totsuka doesn't object, but Fujini and Sakura are looking at Saber in confused astonishment. I know it's a little late, but I want to introduce her to you all. Her name is Saber, and I'm going to be taking care of her for a while. As you can see, she's a foreigner, not used to living in Japan, so please help her with that. The two don't react. It's understandable, but I can't really find it in me to care right now. Come on, sit over here, Saber. It's better when you eat with everyone.
それは確かに効率的だとは思いますが、私は
Oh my god. I can feel the awkwardness in the room. It's so, oh my god. It is true that it would be a bit more efficient, but there's no need to be bashful. You're going to be living with us from now on, too. If we're going to live together, we should eat
Hi.
together, too.
シロがそう言うのでしたら、私は従うだけです。
Yes, if you say so, I will have to oblige.
そんなのダメ。
My ears are ringing.
一体どうしちゃったのよシロってば東坂さんだけじゃなくこんな子まで連れ込んじゃっていつからここは旅館みたいになっちゃったのよ
What has got it into you, Shiro? First you bring Tosuke here to stay, and now her too? When did this place turn into a hotel? It's fine. This place is as big as a hotel anyway, so it's no big deal to give up a room or two. If you're okay with Tosuke staying here, then Saber should be fine too.
いいわけないでしょ東坂さんは認めるけどそんな得体の知れない子なんて知らないもん一体どこの子なのよその子は
Of course not. I approve of Tosuke, but I know nothing about this complete stranger. Just who is this girl anyway? She's a distant relative. I don't really know the details about what happened to her, but she came here looking for help from my old man.
そんな作り話信じられない大体ね仮にそうだとしても どうしてエミヤの家に来たのよ。キリツグさんに外国の知り合いなんているはずな。
I'm not buying a ridiculous story like that. Even if it were the case, why did she come to the Emiya house? There's no way Kiritsugu had acquaintances from other countries. She can't say that with any confidence, and she knows it. My old man traveled constantly, so he probably had more friends from other countries than in Japan.
ないとは言い切れないけど、それにしたっておかしいわ。あなた、何のためにここに来たのよ。
I can't say that for sure, but it still sounds fishy. So you, why did you come here?
シロは黙ってなさい。セイバーさん、私はあなたに聞いてるんだけど。
You shush, Shiro. Saber, right? I'm asking you. Saber is silent. I don't blame her. She doesn't really have a backstory, and she's not cunning enough to go along with my lies.
私はキリツグの言葉に従っただけですから。
I do not exactly know. I was only following Kiritsugu's orders. I guess she does.
キリツグさんがシロを頼むって？
So Kiritsugu entrusted Shiro to you.
あらゆる敵からシロを守るようにと。
Yes, I was told to protect Shiro from his enemies. Ever so quietly, Saber says it with such straightforwardness and clarity. There's no room for anyone to protest. Even if it really was a lie, it will become the absolute truth in Saber's mind. Even the Fujini can't argue with her, but she stands up with a frown and glares right at Saber.
そこまで言うんなら腕前を見せてもらうんだから。
Fine. If you're serious about this, I'll test your skills. Fujini drops this on us on all of us out of nowhere. And with the sound of whooshing wind, Fujini takes us outside. And then she takes the bamboo sword, Shinai, hanging on the wall and continues glaring at Saber. Okay, what the hell is Fujini thinking?
あなた、シロを守るって言ったわね。なら少しは覚えがあるんでしょ？
You said you would protect Shiro, which means you should at least be somewhat disciplined, right?
私に剣を持てというのですか？
Well, you're telling me to take a
そう
sword.
よ。あなたが私より強かったら許してあげます。けど弱かったら家に帰ってもらうからね。
That's right. I'll accept this if you prove you're stronger than me. But if you're weak, I'm sending you back
構い
home.
ませんが。それはどういった理屈でしょうか？
I don't mind, but I don't see the sense of it.
シロを守るのは私だもん。シロが一人前になるまで私がずっとそばにいるんだから。
I am supposed to be the one who protects Shiro. I'm going to be right by his side until he grows up to be a man. Saber doesn't seem to fully comprehend what Fujini's intentions are. Then again, none of us do.
だから私より弱いやつはいらないの。
Why did she hit the gritty? Not the gritty, sorry. Why did she floss? And whatever. Like I said, I don't need anyone weaker than me
あ
around.
なたが私より強いって言うなら私より頼りになるでしょ。それなら少しはシロを任せてもいいわよだ。
If you are stronger than me, you should be dependable, right? And if you are, maybe I can entrust Shiro to you just a little. Fujini swings her Shinai around with a pout.
わかりました。あなたを納得させれば良いのですね。
Understood. Oh, I just need to convince you, correct?
そうよ。けど私を納得させるのは大変なんだから。
That's right. But convincing me will be no easy feat! No sooner has Fujini said that than she practically leaps forward, rushing towards Saber, brandishing her Shinai. Fujini, this is ridiculous. She goes in for a surprise attack, even though she hasn't even given Saber a Shinai yet. This tiger has no busy calling herself a teacher if she's going to pull something like that. Saber stands there in a daze, taken aback by Fujini's surprise attack. Fujini swings for the body.
あれ？
Fujini tilts her head in confusion. Well, yeah. We're all dumbfounded and we're just watching, so it must be even stranger, like the mystery of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. For Fujini, she's the one who experienced it firsthand. Saber is still standing. The only difference is not she's now holding the shinai. Fujini had it in her hand in a heartbeat earlier.
本当？
For real? I don't know if this is for real, but it definitely happened. Saber isn't even holding the shinai. She took it in a ready position. Fujini is frozen in her tracks right in front of Saber. She's a kendo expert whose skill is supposedly unmatched. The experience probably made clear to her that Saber is on a completely
構えろ
different
というの
level.
でしたら構えますが、そこまでしなければわからない腕ではないでしょう。
If you require me to take a ready stance, I shall. But I do believe you are skilled enough to realize that I have already proven my point. Fujini staggers back and drops to her
勝負は
knees.
つきました。認めてもらえましたか？
The contest is over. Do you approve of me? Fujini slumps her shoulders and droops her head low. Just when I think she's about to retreat quietly. Good God. I'm not even gonna touch that. Jesus Christ. they're torturing that voice actor, man. Holy shit. Virginie starts to cry so loud it starts to hurt all our ears. Rent was due. In the end, it took 2 hours. Good lord, woman. Fujini gestured to Saber, saying, "We need to talk," and went into my old man's room. They were in there for 2 hours. She finally came out looking unsatisfied and mumbled, "I guess I've got no choice but to acknowledge her." She's only nodded in resignation. Sakura, though, was silent the whole time. It was getting late, so Fujini wound up taking Sakura home, but Sakura didn't say a single word. She just bowed and went home.
それじゃあ私も別棟に戻るわね。
I'm going to the outbuilding then. That's all Ren said. Couldn't think of it, Tosuka's been quiet all this time too. Sorry about that, I bet you're thinking I did something stupid again.
別に。ただあなたのしていることは心の贅肉よ。そんな余分なことばっかりしてたらいつか身動きが取れなくなるわ。
Not really. The only thing you're doing is trying to add some unnecessary flap to your heart to make yourself feel better. If you keep on doing things like this, you're going to really get yourself in trouble. She waves goodnight and heads off to the outbuilding. I'm exhausted. I should probably sleep early today.
待ってください、シロ。私もあなたに聞くべきことがある。
Please wait, Shiro. I would like to ask you something. Sure, what
な
is
ぜ
it?
私を皆に紹介したのですか？私もリンの言う通り、シロの行為は不必要だと思います。
Why'd you introduce me to everyone? I agree with Rin, that was unnecessary. No real rhyme or reason. I just didn't like how things were going, so I introduced you to everyone.
シロ、それは答えになっていません。何が嫌だったのか言ってもらわなければ。
Shiro, you did not answer my question. You must tell me what you didn't like. She draws closer to me. Was what happened tonight really so strange to her? How do I know? I was just eating and I didn't like knowing that you were all alone. If anything, I just thought we'd have less secrets to worry about once Fujini and Sakura knew about you too.
それはあまり意味のあることではありません。
That was certainly futile
む
then.
しろ彼女たちに私の存在を知らせるのはマイナスです。この屋敷なら私の存在は隠し通せるのですから、私は待機していた方が良かった。
Making them aware of my presence may well be detrimental. I am able to conceal myself in this house, so it would be better for me to simply remain standing by. Better? In what way? Is she saying she's better off being ostracized but when the rest of us are all eating? That's not true. You may be fine with it, but I didn't like it. It's not about logic or sense. I look away from Saber. I'm going to the shed, so go ahead to your room. She doesn't answer. I turn my back on Saber, who seems unconvinced by what I said, and make my way to the shed. I step outside. The tranquil yard is lit by a pale moonlight. The winter sky is clear enough to see the stars above me. Sigh, hardly realizing I'm doing it. Tosuka's right. I'm contradicting myself. I'm heading to the shed to avoid Saber's room, but I don't want to leave Saber alone. I'm having a hard time interacting with Saber as a member of the opposite sex, but I can't ignore her on a human level. It's no wonder Tozuka gets disgusted with me and my contradictions. Crap, I thought I was only experienced in magecraft, but I'm also generally immature too. I absentmindedly look up at the night sky. The night drags on. My inexperience is all the more reason I can't skip out on my training. All I can do is keep on believing that if I work hard enough, I might someday attain something. Yes, we will.